In this politics video, I want to look at President Trump's attack on mail-in voting in Nevada. Let's look at his tweet. In an illegal late-night coup, Nevada's clubhouse governor made it impossible for Republicans to win the state. Post office could never handle the traffic of mail-in votes without preparation. Using COVID to steal the state. See you in court. This was August 3rd, 2020. And a photo of the protesters who are against the measure passed by the state legislature to automatically send mail-in ballots to all registered voters. The key quote we want to look at is, quote, impossible for Republicans to win the state. And this is a rather interesting assertion. So, Mr. President, are you saying that the only way for Republicans to win the state of Nevada, and possibly other locations, is to suppress the vote? These are his words, impossible for Republicans to win the state. He has no mention of fraud in this tweet, actually. He's simply claiming Republicans cannot win, and his issue is with the mail-in voting being sent to registered voters. So, perhaps he looked at the numbers, perhaps he has a hunch that there simply is an unwinnable state, or rather election in that state, if everybody votes. And that could be true in many cases. Elections often come down to voter turnout, because in fact, the majority of people do not vote, actually. Well, rather, a large portion of people do not vote in many elections. And concerning a portion of the tweet where he's talking about the post office being unable to handle the mail. Now, they denied that they could not handle a high volume of mail, such as mail-in ballots. They handle plenty of mail per day throughout the country. There have been efforts, though, to slow down the post office in some ways and possibly sabotage it, such as denial of overtime pay for workers who are handling excess mail. So, of course, if the workers are not there to handle extra mail, it would, in fact, slow down mail. And further investigations needed to see the long-term effects of this, although it would appear that those involved implementing these measures would prefer to privatize the post office in the future or do away with it altogether. One final note is that President Trump and many other high-profile Republicans have been using mail-in voting for years. So essentially, I understand the message here. He's saying it's good when my people do it, not when those who disagree with me do it. And this could not be more clear than demonstrated by his recent support of mail-in voting efforts in Florida, a state in which he gauges as believing to have more support if more people vote. So he believes turnout there is a good thing for him, while turnout in Nevada would be a bad thing. Now, to try to push better turnout, in general, a candidate would try to galvanize his support in the areas that it exists. But to purposely sabotage in some way, that's a whole other story.